Okay, so you'll work on a couple. There we are. So we'll work on a couple of activities and that are similar to the types of tests that you may be asked to work on as a tester. As you complete these activities, imagine you want to buy a Philippine roasted coffee beans through Bo's webpage to be delivered to your to your office or home. There are no wrong answers. We want to see your successes, but we also want to see your struggles. Please speak your thoughts out loud and follow these instructions. Simply enough. So let's go. Specifically, what made it easy or difficult for you to find Philippines roasted coffee beans through Bo's webpage? Okay, so this is Bo's webpage. This is entirely different than any webpage that I would usually consider is like a, let's say, yeah, any shopping website basically. When you have regular shopping websites, you don't usually start out with something like this. It's a nice design, it's a nice feature. Excuse me. It's a nice feature, in my opinion. So let's scroll down. Okay. Now we are on a page that looks more like, what the heck is that? This doesn't fit. Just look at it. Once you scroll here, you totally go over a pretty important message. This text block, grounded on homegrown identity, should be visible when you have the bar, the top bar shown. Anyway, back to the task. Okay, so I want to find the Philippine coffee. So we go to the Philippine coffee. And then we are not taking where I expected. So, okay, so let's go to order now, shop now. Okay, now it takes me to a shop page. That is something better than something more like I expected it. Okay, so, Philippine coffee. So there are the Philippine coffees. Okay, so here we are. What specifically made it easier or difficult for you to find the Philippine roasted coffee beans through Bo's coffee webpage? Well, I expected it to be behind this button. If I clicked this button, then I would have expected to, basically receive at least something. Well, receive was probably wrong. To basically be taken where the different coffees are at least shown. Even if I cannot shop them at that point, I would have expected that they are at least shown there, the different different sorts that they have there, because they are quite a number. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 different coffees that you can choose from. So I would have expected, even if I cannot shop them, to be behind this button here to show me the different coffees. Then, okay, I clicked on order now and shop now, and it took me here. So that was fairly easy then to find, but it was slightly unexpected. Let's go with that. Yes, I'm sure I completed the task successfully. Overall, this task was, well, it was fairly easy. It was a little unexpected, but very easy. Do you find interesting information on the webpage? I'm assuming it still is about this webpage. First of all, I always like when someone basically states their mission like this. Very visible, very, very dominant on a page. and then to basically, introduce the Philippines, and where different, flavors originate from is always a great, background info. I just love that there is background info like that. Clicking around, probably, let's go with menu. Maybe that shows the coffees that I would have expected. Well, that's an interesting information there. Okay, so no, this is what I can order then. Let's see what's new. Also love that. Always to see what's in that. Okay, so this is not currently developed. But anyway, if we just look at the starting page, again, as I said, I love that there is like this mission statement, but although it is nice that the identity is still visible when the top bar is showing, I would have loved if grounded on homegrown identity would still be visible, and then the mission statement. But yeah. How unfavorable 1 or favorable 7 is your attitude towards Bo's coffee value proposition? Explain your answer. This coffee shop kind of brand, because they do have like in-store shops, at least that's what I would get from this menu, has a very dominant I'm sorry, I just have to get back to this point here. Now the top bar is going over the identity. This has to be fixed. This is bad. This is very bad. Anyway, besides the design issues that I have here, one can the whole web page, the whole design, the whole wording of some things, like, hey, our coffee origins is a story of our culture. It basically shows how in touch they are with their products, how great they think about their products, how enthusiastic they are about their own products. They have a very special, attitude towards their products, a place to call home, so to say, as they worded here. It is, one really connects on a different level, and that is great, because if one wants to sell anything, one has to be enthusiastic, and this enthusiasm is not only shown in the design but also in the wording. Again, here we put the spotlight on Philippine coffee. We are proud of our roots. They transport the message in every possible way, so I'd say very favorable. How inconsistent or consistent is Bo's coffee main message? It's very consistent. Because they talk about all the enthusiasm, and then they give background info on certain regions. In my opinion, it's very great. How ordinary or unique is Bo's coffee? That's very unique. I mean, personally, okay, I'm not the greatest coffee drinker, but Philippine coffee was not on my list. I've heard of like chilling coffee. I've heard of coffee from Haiti. I heard from Cuban coffee. I heard Brazilian, African, even African, Argentina. So basically all South American kinds of coffee. So there are various places for coffees, but the Philippines are just not on the list that I would have expected the first coffee to come from. So that's very unique. How difficult or easy is it to find e-commerce platform? Please explain your answer. Well, it is very easy to find. I mean, let's be honest. Clicking on order now and clicking on shop now is very easy to find. Just not where I would have initially expected it, but nonetheless it's great. Another thing that's just the design shows me that bugs me a little bit is the search bar. The search bar doesn't start on the same level as the Philippine coffee and ends much past this button of Philippine coffee. Why are they not aligned? They need to be the same width and need to be aligned. This is, sorry. So how difficult is it to remember Bo's coffee brand? Oh, it's very easy. I think because of their uniqueness, because of this design, because of it is coffee from the Philippines. I mean, not the first kind of coffee that one usually expects. So it's very easy to remember. If Bo's coffee were a person, how would you describe its personality? Friendly, open, supportive and heartwarming. Yeah, welcoming, caring. Yeah. In your own words, describe what Bo's Coffee offers. Well, Bo's Coffee seems to be a coffee shop. And because they do have a menu, which you can order from apparently in their stores. They have breakfast, they have pasta, they have cold drinks and hot drinks, as I said here. And then they have different offerings in those, obviously. Grilled cheeses. Great. Oh, and apparently cake. So they do offer quite a lot. But despite from only selling it in their store, they also sell it in an e-commerce platform where you can order the coffee or anything. If we go by here, we have there are the coffee beans. Here's ready to drink coffee, cakes, home brewing. So there's like also other features that you can order, like here the home brewing. That's probably equipment, French press equipment. So they do offer quite a lot on that e-commerce platform, but it is a store nonetheless. What 3 words would you use to describe Bo's coffee? Unique, selected, and hard to decide on 3 words. Unique, selected, sustainable. How unsatisfied or satisfied are you with the user experience on a web page? Well, I'm very satisfied nonetheless. I mean, it's a great web page. I think the design is intriguing. There are just like a few tweaks that I would have. I mentioned this identity thing. This has to be fixed. That the top bar, when it's fading in, you see it's fading in here, it basically blurs over a message, and that message is important. I wouldn't hide that message. Then also the search bar. I mentioned that before. This has to be fixed. This is, it bugs me. but all in all, I mean, it's a fairly fast web page. You get very quickly to where you want. So yeah, I'm truly satisfied. Oh, I definitely try them out. How confident are you that you completed the task successfully? I'm fairly confident. I mean, I talked about all the tasks that were given. I had a look around on the web page and in the store. So I'm fairly confident. How unfavorable or favorable is your attitude towards Bose coffee? Well, it's fairly favorable. I mean, a brand that is focused on a rather unknown type of coffee, at least for me, unknown type of coffee, that not only offers a coffee like, here you have a coffee, it's more like, here you have a piece of our culture. They chose a very nice setting with it, if you understand what I mean. It's offering a coffee is fairly simple, but offering everything that goes with the coffee, the culture, the background info, the maybe even the sustainability, is something, yeah, that I value, and I think that is something that Bose Coffee portrays. So it's very favorable. Is there anything that you learned about Bose Coffee webpage from using the website to buy the coffee? Explain your answer. Well, definitely I learned there's Philippine coffee. I didn't know that there's Philippine coffee, and it also had that the different regions with like a kind of taste specific, yeah, character that a coffee can have then, different flavors. So yeah, I think that's definitely something that I'm taking from this.